What messages does your spirit guides and your higher self have for you that they want your soul to know that's important for you in this mid-month of January? I'm Pam, and welcome to your mid-month Psychic Tarot update for January 2026. I'm going to go through each sign of the zodiac, and I'm going to start with the sign of Aries. Aries, the first card you have for this mid-month update is the Magician. This is a card that symbolizes manifesting. You can manifest things from the spirit world, from your mind, and manifest it into physical reality. It is a card that can also indicate trickster energy as well. You're coming into a time right now, Aries, that's going to be very strong empowerment. Empowerment for like strengthening and empowering your life in some form or another. It could be work or business. It could be your love life. It could be your whole life all the way around. You're gaining a lot more confidence. It's like you're seeing the old patterns in your life or old hang-ups or any old behavioral patterns like drift away. You're going to be coming through loud and clear. So if you have any speeches, presentations, messages, videos you need to record, classes you need to teach, webinars, seminars, people are really going to be listening to you. Now, if you're not involved in any of that, this could be happening within your family unit. And you're going to see more people gravitate towards you. You're going to see more people paying attention to what you're saying, what you're doing. If you have a business, your products and services or anything that you're doing could see an increase in customers, subscribers, popularity, more sales. You may be also testing the waters and how you feel about things this month. The card you have with it is the Chariot. This is a card that can mean success. It could also be, you could feel pulled in two different directions or have to make a choice between two different paths. It can also mean long distance travel or change, because a lot of times the Chariot is talking about change coming in. You're going to realize there's going to be people that are going to see you more clearly, like who you really are. Maybe people didn't really see you as clearly as you thought, but they're going to start to see you really clearly moving forward. I feel like this is going to go on all year, not just January. Anything that's had a buildup, a residue. It could be things in your house, like grease on a exhaust fan. I don't know what else to compare it to. But like anything where there's buildup, you're going to want to deal with it and like clean it off, take care of it. You know, cleaning and clearing things up is going to be a big theme for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. In mid-January, but this energy could go on for far longer. Your creative juices are going to be flowing. Your ideas are going to be bubbling and percolating. This could be a highly creative time for you if you want to do any writing, if you like create anything in writing, music or poetry, or writing any novels, or if you do any blogs or anything for your job that involves writing or creativity. It doesn't just have to be writing. It could be other things. It's really going to be in full bloom for you right now. And I feel throughout February, maybe even going out until the end of March or into early April. Looks like a really high energy time for your creativity. Don't be surprised. I feel like somebody is going to unexpectedly show up at your doorstep and you may be like, whoa, why are you here? I don't know if you're going to be happy about it. I just feel like you're thrown off by it. I don't know that you're like, oh yeah, great, you showed up on my doorstep. For some of you, it could be an ex, or a friend that you're like, you distanced yourself from and here they show up. Could be a relative you don't really want to see. I'm feeling more like you don't really want to see them, but for some of you, you could be happy that they show up on your doorstep. And this could be at home, at your home, but it could also be if you work, it could be in your workplace they show up. I get either you're generating news and new information, or the person that shows up is generating news and new information that they're passing on to you. Or even if that person specifically does not show up for you, I still feel like you are going to be dealing with and fed new information. It's going to come to you. News and information. It's going to be very important. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Taurus. Okay, Taurus, your spirit guides and your higher self want you to know Four of Swords. This is a pause, a resting phase, a meditative state, a recuperation from an illness. It could also indicate prayer. I do feel like you're looking to find time to have some peace and quiet. But I feel like it comes to you later on in the month of January or later on in the month of February. I hear that Tauruses are going through some kind of cycle. I'm hearing cycle. It's a cycle you're going through. If you recently had any big blow up in your life, whether it was positive or negative or any kind of big blow up of change within your workplace or within your family or a personal relationship, it's now the cool down, the simmering down of it. So some of you may have had something that was like quite ba-bam, like impactful or a big change, and now you're going to have the cool down from it. Some of you may have ingested something that was not healthy for you that made you feel sick. It may have even had, I know this sounds dramatic, but it is what I'm hearing, so I'm going to tell you. It may have had some kind of toxins in it or poison. I'm not saying somebody was trying to poison you, but you know, have you examined things about the food anymore and what's in ingredients? Like it could be from something that a company that manufactured the food or processed the food or packaged the food that it got in. And it may have made you feel quite sick. Or you could have gotten a bug or some kind of illness or sickness. And now you're going to have the, you know, the recuperation and relaxation afterwards, resting, recuperation. I do feel that Tauruses are really trying hard to heal. There is some element of really trying to heal here. But something that went on has really given you a lot of clarity. It could be about a person, because I see like you got some kind of wake-up call about somebody in your life that you dealt with. Could have been a boss, could have been one of your kids, could have been a best friend. I don't know who it was. It's a general reading, so you got to watch, you know, it's good to watch your sun sign, rising sign, and moon sign for more insight and information. But I do feel like you got some kind of like awakening, wake-up call or illumination about somebody in your life. The card you have with it, which could be the person you had the illumination about, is the Page of Swords, which is an air sign person, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign person. Pages can be children, but they can also be adults that are immature or young at heart. So it could be one of your kids or a child in your life, but it could be an adult as well. They could be a messenger also. Pages bring messages. And the Page of Swords brings messages about truth, wisdom, knowledge, or the opposite. This person feels to me like they're going through troubling times and that they can't deal with something going on in their personal life or personal situation. Now remember, this could be you, also Taurus, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is an air sign. So it could be you as well. It could be somebody that's trying hard to accumulate wealth and abundance, but they could really feel like they're struggling. This could also be somebody that you know or are connected to or are in your life in some way that is having problems with some kind of addiction as well. This air sign person may be working at cross purposes with themselves. They may have all these intentions of, I want to be successful, I want to do this, that, and the other, but then they're doing all these things that are not conducive to make that happen. They may be sitting at home watching TV or spending time on their phone too much or on the internet or not looking for a job or not trying to get an education or a career going or whatever ways people do to get success. They may not be doing any of that. So that's why I get this cross purposes with themselves. They want this and that and the other, but you know, you can't expect it always to land. Like the universe does give you kabam blessings, right? It can. You could one day, it's like, here it is, but not always. Your intention and your will has a lot to do with what happens. So I don't feel like this person is doing the right things to get what they want. They could also have gotten burned by their curiosity. They may have looked into something that maybe they shouldn't have. And that could be bosses or somebody else's like situation. Like maybe they did some digging and they found out some info or information that put them in a, I don't know if I want to say dangerous position. I'll say a tenuous position. So I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Gemini. Hi, Gemini. Let's see what your spirit guides and your soul and your higher self want you to know in mid-January. You got the Three of Cups. This is three sisters, three females, three friends. It could be help from friends. It could be attending parties, gatherings, and celebrations. This could indicate a celebratory conclusion to something going on. You could be throwing a party. You could be attending a party. You may find out that there's some people that are in your life. They could be siblings. They could be people at work. They've been lying to you about something. And maybe they were trying to protect you. I don't know. Sometimes people lie because they're like, oh, they don't want to get you upset because they think you're going to flip out. I've had that happen to me in my past quite a few times where people have lied to me because they're like, oh, they don't want, you know, me to flip out. And I'm an air sign like you. So it could be happening to you. There could be some people here, but I feel like you're going to find out that they've done it. And this puts you in like a weird position. I don't know whether you're going to be mad or not, but you're definitely going to, I do feel like you're going to be put off by it. Let's put it that way. Whether you're going to freak out and rip them a new one, I don't know. I don't know, Gemini. You know, that's up to each one of you how you're going to react. Some of you are going to see somebody that you haven't seen for a long time, somebody from your past. And this could reactivate or jumpstart or reignite the relationship. Now, that relationship could have been a family relationship. It could have been a friendship relationship. It could have been a love partner relationship. I don't know what kind of relationship. But it could have even been like an old boss, and it could reactivate a connection for work or business. But it's, I feel like reconnecting with somebody from the past, or that kind of like, I'm calling it reconnecting. It is reconnecting. I feel like it's beneficial to you. I don't feel like that's a negative. Some of you may see treacherous behavior with 3 people, or you could be one of the 3 and you see it with 2 people. So some of you Geminis are seeing treacherous behavior with 3 people you know, or you're one of the person in this group and you see it with the other 2. It may be hard for you to swallow. You may feel like it's caused a lot of grief, or will cause a lot of grief, or has caused a lot of damage. So these could be siblings or family members or friends that could have caused this. So the card you have with it is the Knight of Cups. This is a water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you, Gemini, if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a water sign. Or if you're born on the cusp of Gemini and Cancer. You could receive some things that are written in a letter. This water sign person could have left you a letter. They may have passed away. They may have, or they wrote you a letter and you didn't get it a long time ago, but you're getting it now. They maybe want to include you in something, or it could be like they wanted to include you in their will, or they want to include you in something else. So the letter could have been from the past, and it could have been like an important letter that means a lot to you. Or it could be somebody in the present that is sending you an email, a letter, a message. Could be a text message, but I really feel more like it's a letter, actually in writing, that wants to include you. This could be they're inviting you to something, a party, a date. Why would somebody write a letter about a date? But you know what? People, anything goes in 2026. You could be reevaluating how you feel about somebody that's a water sign. Or you could have a water sign person that you're strongly connected to, reevaluating your relationship and how they feel about you. So this could be coming up here in mid-January, but these predictions, people, I'm telling you, timing is going to be different for all of you in general readings. So some of you may say, that already happened to me. Some of you may find this happens later on in April or May, but it's coming up here in your January mid-month Psychic Tarot update for January, so I've got to give it to you now. There could have been little things that have been bothering this water sign person, and they want to get it off their chest. Maybe it was little things that were bothering them about you or your relationship together, or just little things that were bothering them individually as what their issues are or were, and they want to let you know. So, something to think about, Gemini. I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Cancer. Hi, Cancer. I'm going to let you know I shuffle the cards many times. So even though Gemini got it, you got this card too. So it may really apply to Gemini and Cancer cusp people. You got the 3 of Cups. This is 3 sisters, 3 females, 3 friends, help from friends. Could be attending parties, gatherings, or celebrations. You could be throwing the party. You could be attending the party. This could also indicate a celebratory conclusion to something going on in your life. You have to take your time answering these people. Now, it's either 3 people you got to take your time answering, or you're one of the 3 people and it's 2 people you have to take time answering. So I'm not sure what you have to answer them about. They may need your input, your insight, your information. You may be doing some kind of research work or gathering information, or it could be your own personal information. And they may need this from you. You may have to spell the picture out very clearly to 2 or 3 of these people. Because as I already said, you could be one of the 3. So there could be something that comes up in your family or at work where it's like something new is going to go down. Maybe one of your relatives, parents, somebody else close to in your family needs to go in assisted living or a nursing home or in hospice or have home health care. Or they are going into a hospital. And this person needs to be seen, visited, taken care of, looked after. This one needs to do the laundry. The other one needs to do the cooking. This one should volunteer to take them to doctor's visits. Something may need to be discussed and sorted out here about somebody's care, or something that's now evolving and changing where there's going to be different protocols. I'm sorry, my ear is clogged up and it keeps popping. Where different protocols are going to have to be in place. And everybody's going to have to follow a new routine, a new schedule, chip in, pitch in, or go along and do the right thing, that kind of energy. And you may be the one that has to explain it or organize it. Setting it up could be part of your karma, or what you need to do. So the card you have with it is the 2 of Rods. This is a card that means partnership in business, partnership in romance. It can also mean something you are creating and putting out there into the world. You may find out you get some kind of opportunity, or it could even be a chance to do something else. So a new job, a new career opportunity could pop up for you. It could also be if you've been sick with something and you went through some kind of treatment or medication, something new could come in and give you another chance at beating some kind of sickness or illness. If you deal with the public, you may be taking a poll or paying very strong attention to how the public is responding to you, what you're saying, what you're doing, what you're working on, what you're creating. If you own a business, or if you have a YouTube or Rumble channel or whatever, you may be paying attention strongly to algorithms and all sorts of things that would give you a good indication of how the public is responding to you. Some of you could get hired at a new job in February. It could potentially take you farther away from your home, so you may have a longer commute for work. And you have to be very careful about what you say and how you say things, because if you could lose the opportunity if you say the wrong thing or you talk too much. I'm not trying to scare you. I do feel like you're going to get the job, but be very judicious about what you say. I would not recommend you be overly political or overly religious or overly expressive of your ideologies, no matter what they are, because that could lose you that job. So be very careful about what you say when having any kind of interviews, because silence is golden, as they used to say. When I was a kid, there was a commercial. I don't know what it was for. Luden's cough drops? I don't know what it was, but it was silence is golden. Well, when you have this job interview, say very little. Just say the minimal things you need to say. Don't expand on things. Because I feel like the boss or the person hiring, if they don't have the same ideology as you, they're not going to hire you. So be careful of that. So I hope these messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Leo. Hi, Leo. What does your higher self and your spirit guides want you to know right now in the mid-month of January? Your first card is the Six of Swords, which is moving from troubled shores to better shores, from troubled times to better times. It could be actually moving your residence. It could indicate long distance travel also, or having a new commute for work. If you own your own business, you may be thinking about how you can expand and grow your business, or the territory of whom you reach. You may have the feeling like you have a lot of things bottled up inside of you, Leo, that you need to let out. There could be a lot of pent-up energy, pent-up frustration. I don't know. I get this feeling of like a boiler ready to blow. You may need to get out and about and see the world. Maybe you feel like you're stuck. You've been stuck in a rut. Some of you may feel like there's a place where you are that you need to get out of. Excuse me. And you may feel like you don't want to be there anymore. And this could be a place where you live, a neighborhood, a building, a town, but it could be your home. But it could be where you work also. You may feel like, you know what, it's time for me to think fast. I don't want to keep doing what I'm doing anymore. That's what all this pent-up, build-up energy is. Maybe you may feel like you need a job or career change. Even if you own your own business, you could feel like that. You maybe in December, November, December, maybe you've been doing research about other opportunities or possibilities or other things you could do. And now you're in January and you're ready to get on the move and get to it and do it. You may feel like you need to not only supplement your income or increase your income, you just may feel like something you've been doing has gotten too old, stale, or stagnant. You could feel like that. And that you want to rev things up. Get the lead out. Get things going. Card you have with it is the Queen of Cups. This is a water sign person, Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising sign person. This could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that is a water sign, or if you were born on the cusp of Leo and Cancer. This could be a Pisces, Cancer, or Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising sign, like I said. There's things you two need to get straightened out and organized with each other. Things you guys need to organize and straighten out, my guides say. There could be something in this relationship that's broken down that needs to be healed, fixed, and repaired. Could be the entire relationship, but it could be an aspect of the relationship. They may feel like if this isn't you, because remember, you're on the cusp of Cancer and Leo, so it could be you. But if this is like your significant other or somebody close to you, they could be kind of frustrated or fed up or like annoyed with some behavior that you're demonstrating lately. You may feel like they're inspiring you to change your direction. You may feel like this person, this Queen of Cups water sign person, has like inspired you, led you to the, new direction that you want to go in. You may look at the Queen of Cups water sign person like they're very particular. They may want things very much in a specific way. So it could be like something to do within a home. Like, I only want this color carpet and everything has to be these particular shades and tones of colors. And I want, minimal stuff in the house. Or like they could be very particular about it's got to be this kind of furniture and these colors, and it could be other things. It doesn't just have to be about decorating, but I am seeing that. I am seeing an inside of a home and rooms, and I'm seeing furniture and carpet and windows and drapes or shades or blinds or whatever. Like I get like, so that could be influencing you or affecting you, especially if this is your significant other or somebody you're in a business partnership with even could be driving this up. So I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Virgo. Hi Virgo, what do your spirit guides and your higher self want you to know in mid-January? First card you have is the Eight of Cups, and this is a card that symbolizes expanding your craft, expanding your work, expanding your business, expanding, you could be getting a raise or a promotion or expanding your work or business or your finances and investments. You could have the thrill, Virgo, of making more money in January and maybe even going out further in the year. And you may really want to have conversations and meetings with people about how you're progressing. So if you have any mentors or bosses or whomever you'd want to talk to about that, you may want to have those conversations. You could really be getting on board with new projects, new plans, new ideas, especially if it's in your workplace or if it's something you own your own business. I'm sorry, my ear keeps popping. So it could have to do with that. And you could be watching tutorials or taking classes and really learning how things are done. You may go to a training center, a training program, watching tutorials, as I've said, videos, but you may be really fascinated about learning how something is done, how it's made, and maybe it's because you're going to do it or you want to do. Either it's something you're going to have to do for your work or you want to do it. You could get invited to attend some kind of, I'm going to call it a gathering, but it almost feels like a demonstration. And you may be able to like jump in with your creative input. You may have like, oh, I want to stick my 2 cents in here. Or they may be asking you, what's your input, Virgo? What do you think about this? How can we improve it? Or what suggestions do you have? What's your feedback? They could be asking for your feedback. Your productivity could really be increasing in mid-January and moving forward. And I feel like you're going to be talking to the right people, like you're going to be at the right place at the right time, talking to the right people. So take advantage of anywhere that you get inspired to go to, any classes, seminars, webinars, demonstrations, or that you get invited to. I definitely think that you should go. Now, you have an interesting card with it, which I'm like, why did this come up with it? You have the Eight of Cups. That's turning away from what's not working for you anymore, emotionally speaking. And you have the stick of power and control in your hand, which means you're on a new journey. And even though the journey's unknown to you, you're still willing to take it. I feel like you're going to be getting out of some kind of humdrum, boring job, career, or relationship. You're going to see like things move faster and develop faster for you and more growth, especially this entire year, not just in January. It's like, Virgo, you're giving yourself permission to take risks and chances. You may even lead the charge in some business or company project or plan or pursuit, or it could be your own business. You might be leading the charge. You may feel like you wasted too much time on petty either people or petty accounts or petty unimportant businesses or job duties or tasks, because there's something here that you feel like that's petty, that's trivial, I'm done with that. It's not big enough, important enough, fast enough. It's like you're moving on to bigger and better things that are going to hold your attention and be more profitable for you, whether it's profitable mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. It will feel more important and profitable to you. So whatever you're leaving behind feels petty or trivial and has worn out its service in your life, but you're going on to something that's going to feel more interesting, more important, more captivating to you. Some of you, if you had any kind of lease, it could be lease of a car, it could be lease of a property. I feel you're going to be leaving a lease. You're getting out of a lease, or a lease is up and you're done with it. So I hope this reading was of help to you, and I hope it made sense. Now on to the sign of Libra. Hi Libra, let's see what your spirit guides and your higher self want you to know in this mid-month of January. And your first card is Knight of Swords. And this is probably you, but it could be someone else that's an air sign in your life. This is an air sign person, Aquarius, Gemini, or Libra, sun, moon, or rising sign person. You may feel like you're fit to be tied and there's something you don't want to do anymore, or something you want to see change. It's like you want something different. You want something to be different. If you're feeling spiteful to anybody, you may want to stick it to somebody this month. There may be somebody you're like, I want to get back at them for this or that. So I'm not saying you're going to do it. You may feel like you want to do it. Everybody's different. You may not, follow through with it. You may feel like there's been some kind of breach of contract or breach of an agreement that you may be upset about, and that you may feel it needs to be rectified, solved, settled, explained. You may look at something and say, that's gone too far. And it could be a friend, a love partner, one of your kids, a boss, a coworker. I don't know who it is because it's a general reading, Libra, but it comes up here. You may feel like that's gone too far and you want to step in or say something. Maybe it's with the powers that be in the world or in your particular country. And you may feel like something they did went too far. And so you want to protest or write a letter or send a video or make some kind of speech. But there could be something, or like this could be within your own family. It could be a sibling. You may feel like a sibling or a parent or one of your kids or your significant other went too far. And you may feel like, okay, I'm speaking up now. I've got to say something about it. You could also feel, Libra, like there is some kind of pressure you want taken off of you. You may feel like this is too much stress. This is too much pressure. I need this taken off of me. Maybe you're in a company or business and you feel like they're putting too much work on you or making you work overtime too much or giving you like 2 people's worth of work, but they're giving it all to you. And you may feel like, you know what? Company I work for, you've gone too far. So the card you have with it is Judgment. This is, what do we think about a situation? How do we feel about it? What's the word? What's the proclamation? How are things going to go down and how does it affect everyone involved? It could also be making an announcement. Look at that. That really goes along with what I got with your Knight of Swords card. There's going to be some kind of opening and you're going to land in it. So like you see an opportunity opening where you can say something, or you see a job opening up where you're going to land in it. You're going to apply and get the job. It could even be a property that opens up that you want to live in and you see the opportunity open up and you're going to land in it. You're going to make an offer on the land or property. You could have some important information that you're like, I'm going to broadcast this to the world. Maybe you're going to be a whistleblower, or, you know, you got some valuable, important information and you're going to tell whomever you feel needs to know this information. So you could be broadcasting some important insights, knowledge, and information. You may feel like you need to wipe the slate clean. Maybe you feel like you've been accused of things or looked at in a negative light or blamed for things, whatever. And you may feel like, I want to clear this up. This isn't my fault or not my doing. So you may be coming forward with information about that. You could have an important dinner with someone that opportunities open up for you at this dinner. And you may not think that going in. Some of you may think, wow, there's a possibility I could get a new job or make a good connection here or meet somebody new to date, or something about it could seem like there's a possibility of something intriguing, but not for all of you. Some of you may be going to this dinner with your friend or a relative or a bunch of people you know from work, and there's somebody there that could be a good networking opportunity for you, could be a new love connection for you. I don't know, you have to see how it plays out, but go to any dinner invites you get in mid-January or moving forward in February and maybe even in March. Because remember, it's a general reading, Libra, and timing is different for all of you in a general reading. So now I hope those messages were of help to you and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Scorpio. Hi, Scorpio. You definitely got better cards here in this reading than you did in your January reading for the whole month. So I was happy to see that because I know some of you are like that you weren't happy with the cards that showed up for you then. But first card you have is 3 of Rods. That's success. That's waiting patiently for success to come in. It's letting go of something so success can come to you. You could also be at the beginning stages of a successful business venture. Finally, something opens up for you and a spot becomes available. I feel like for some of you, this is at where you work, where it may not be in your department. If your business where you work is divided up into different departments, it may be opening up in another department or in another location if the place where you work has multiple locations. But I get like something opens up for you here. But I feel like you're watching things unfold. Like, I don't want to say it's a disaster, but it's almost like watching a volcano erupt at a distance. Like you're seeing, the fire spit out little bits here, ashes boiling before it really blows and all the volcanic eruption happens. I feel like you're watching something and you're like, oh, this isn't going to go well. That person's going to get fired or they're getting ready to quit or retire. And you can see it getting ready to erupt. And then when it erupts, it gives you some kind of gateway into it. If you work for a business or company, spending quality time with bosses could be very helpful to you. So if there's any I know it's after the holidays, so it's weird to say a holiday party, but it could be an office party, a birthday party for somebody at the office, or some special event that everybody in the company goes to. Like spending time around your bosses, not in the normal setting, would be beneficial to you, where your bosses can see you not just how you normally work, like seeing you out there in the world with other people, interacting and socially, and you interacting with them socially. If you had to apply for anything, you get the answer back that you were approved. If it was a loan application or a job that you applied for, or a promotion that you applied for, or if it was something else you tried to get in, you find out that you got that acceptance or approval. So the card you have with it is the Ace of Swords. This is victory, truth being revealed, wisdom, knowledge. It could also be victory because truth is revealed. Sometimes this can mean love. I do get right off the bat, some of you could get proposed or engaged, like somebody could propose to you and want to get married. You could be doing it, or you could be getting the proposal. I hear acceptance, approval, nomination. You got acceptance at the end of reading this card. I also hear if you're in the workforce, a position gets solidified for you. So maybe you were in like a position that you weren't sure, am I going to stick with it? Am I going to be able to stay in this position or not? Or, a new position opens up and you're like, am I going to get in that position or that client or customer or that specific job, opportunity or not? It gets solidified for you. You have victory here. You could have some kind of, what's it called? I'm going to say recommendation from an unknown source. So someone could anonymously be speaking highly of you and your work. And you may or may not know that that happened. But it's going to help you either way. Whether you find out that someone did that on your behalf or not, it's still going to be positive and helpful for you. Some of you could have a new love partner that comes in. I know Ace of Cups is usually love, but I don't know. Sometimes this love can come up for Ace of Swords also, and I'm getting some of you a new love partner could show up. And if it doesn't happen in January, I feel it's strongly in the month of February, equally as strong. And the relationship could seem like a little challenging to you for some reason at first, or you may be unsure about them at first, but that's not going to last. That's going to go away quickly, and you're going to see that you do have things in common, or they are, you may perceive them differently right in the first meeting. So don't be too quick to, pass someone by that shows an interest in you. You may actually click really well with them more than what you think initially. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Sagittarius. Hi, Sagittarius. What messages do your spirit guides and your higher self have for you this mid-month update? First card you have is the Emperor. And this is a strong male figure, either living or deceased. It could be a paternal figure, father, grandfather, great-grandfather, someone like a father figure to you. They could be influencing you, even if they're deceased. So you could have ideas and inspirations that could feel like they're yours, but they could actually be coming from the Emperor. You could be the Emperor yourself. Sometimes there's strong Aries energy around the Emperor. The Emperor says you need time for quiet reflection and to dig deeper into your psyche and what is it you need and want. You might be scattered in those areas or unclear. So it might be good to take a pause, meditative state, do, meditation, like I said, and look into, write down, journal what you want, because I feel like you're not clear about it totally, or what you need and want is changing. I'm also hearing there's things that you forgot. There's tasks that you need to do, things you need to complete. It could have to do with work. It could have to do with your taxes. It could have to do with paying bills. It could have to do with, other things in your life. It's not always work, but it could be like bills, debts, things that need fixing and repair, people you needed to remember their birthday or holiday. I don't know what it is, but I'm hearing from the Emperor there's things you forgot. And it may be like a chaotic time where a lot of things are going on around you. That could be like, I see a big pot on the stove and it's stirring the pot. It's scattering your energy. Take your time. Choose wisely. Think carefully. Choose wisely. That's what the Emperor is saying. And to get a firm grip on yourself and not to be like a boat adrift with no direction or motor floating on the sea. You've got to get a grip on the direction of where you want to go. Yeah, it's like you need to get focused. You have too much at stake to lose focus. So the next card in your reading is the Eight of Pentacles. This is starting a new job, starting a new business, learning a new craft, learning a new skill, starting a new job, starting a new business, and getting financial gains and rewards from that new skill you're learning. You could also be focusing on your craftsmanship and attention to detail. You could also be focusing on financial matters. I hear that you're going to see an increase or a jump up in your finances. It could be in things that you are invested in. If you have applied for any grants or loans, I feel like, especially a grant, if you're eligible for any grants, you should apply, because I get a grant comes in or money comes in to you. for you. You may get some insight about something that you could invest in, and you should take advantage of that. It could be investing in a company or a business of like a big company or a small business, or, I don't know, but I get you're going to hear something and you should take advantage of that tip because it's going to pay off for you. You could also learn a new craft or skill that you could then utilize and implement to actually start a new business. And that may sound crazy. You may feel like, what? How's that the case? I don't know. You could learn something. You could take some kind of class that you're interested in. Like, I want to learn how to do whatever. Doesn't matter. I don't know. Martial arts of some sort. Or tarot classes. I don't know. But it's like you could learn something and find out you have a real knack for it and you're really talented and good at it, and you could start your own business. Maybe you're really good at hair cutting and you're like, you know what, I'm good with hair. I'm going to go to classes to learn how to do hair. And it turns out you open your own hair salon, or, I don't know, you open your own karate studio. You're good at it, and then you're like, well, I'm going to keep learning it, but you know what? I'm going to start a school of it. You never know. So don't shy away from any kind of interests that you have and classes. I'm not saying take the class because then you're going to learn how to start your own business. I feel it's going to be more like, I'm really interested in this, and this is something I always wanted to do or I want to get involved in. You go to it, and it could actually turn into, you could be like, the wheels start turning in your mind and you're like, you know what? I think I could start a business doing this. Even if you haven't perfected it, you could still have some kind of business or business opportunities could come to you from an interest. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Capricorn. Hi, Capricorn. So the first card you have is the Nine of Pentacles. And this is a card that symbolizes having financial stability and abundance behind you. Peace and contentment and financial stability and abundance behind you. I feel like if you own your own business, you're getting more access to clients and customers. Or if you work at a business or a company, they're giving you more access to clients and customers. You may feel like you've reached some kind of goal or pinnacle that now you are going to now start to set something in motion. It could be starting a new business or a company. It could be starting a new career. You may value a lot of people's input, and you may want to do something like, maybe you want to create videos where you deal with people's opinions, and you make videos about what people think, what the man and woman on the street think about this, think about that, like people's opinions. You may want to, maybe you're going to start interviewing people. Also, if you're a good interviewer. You could also be involved in a job or start something where you have to field suspicious content. So if you work for a business or company or own your own business or company, there could be some aspect of this company you work for or business you own where you have to go through, analyze suspicious activities or materials. I don't know how else to describe it. It could be looking at data. I don't really know how else to describe that. That's not going to apply to all of you for sure. Some of you are going to have a new romance that's going to come in this year and sweep you off your feet. Whether it happens in mid-January or not, it'll be different. Timing will be different for all of you because your birth charts are not the same. You're not born on the same month, day, year, or time. You could be a December Capricorn or a January Capricorn. You could be born back in the whatever year moving forward. Like big age gaps here. I do feel like you're also learning to cope with stress better. So if you've had issues with stress, I feel like mid-January moving forward, you're coping with stress better. The card you have with it is the Knight of Rods. This is a fire sign person, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, sun sign, rising sign, or moon sign. It could be you if you have a sun, moon, or rising sign that's a fire sign, or if you're born on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn. If you had feelings for somebody and those feelings diminished, I feel like they're going to come back up again. This could be somebody you're already involved with, that you've been with for a long time, like a love partner you're with for a long time. But it could apply to other people you deal with, like a family member, a coworker that you got along with them really well in the past, but then your feelings diminished. Well, you could feel more positive and like them again. For some of you, like I said, it could be a love partner, but for some of you, it not necessarily. Some of you have a love partner or somebody in your life that's very important to you. That's a fire sign person that's having trouble sleeping. They're losing sleep at night. I feel like it's stress and worry, through worry. I feel like they're going through like emotional ups and downs. You may feel like they're on the go too much. They're go, go, go. You might feel like they don't get enough rest, relaxation, time to themselves. You may feel like they work too much. I do feel like they look to you for support. If you are married or seriously coupled with this person, I feel like they appreciate you. They feel like you give them some continuity, peace, maybe even an idyllic kind of relationship. So there could be a lot of positive vibes between you and this Knight of Rods. But like I said, for some of you, you could be the Knight of Rods if you're born on the cusp of Sagittarius and Capricorn, or that could be your sun, moon, or rising sign is a fire sign. I keep hearing too much to do, too many places to go, too many people to see, too much to do, swirling around the Knight of Rods. So I feel like they're extremely stressed, pressured, busy, and possibly, came up first, having sleepless nights, trouble sleeping. They might not be able to shut their mind off or their energy, like shut it down. They may be having trouble with that. Maybe drink some different types of teas. They need to look into different types of teas to help them sleep and calm them down. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Aquarius. Hi, Aquarius. So the first card you have for this mid-month update, what do your spirit guides and your higher self want you to know? You have the Two of Pentacles. And this is a card of seeking balance. It could also be weighing your options or struggling between making a decision of some sort. You may be struggling with, I have to do this, or do I want to do this? Do I have to do this, or do I want to do this? So there could be have to do, want to do, kind of seesawing in your mind. You have to be careful of not making things too complicated, because my guides are saying you don't need to. They're saying you're going through some kind of adjustment period. And part of it may be because you're learning or grappling with new skills or new things that you didn't have to deal with, think about, or take care of before. And you could feel like one day you want to do something and the next day you don't. So it's not a good time to make decisions when you're in such a state of flux. You may be trying to find your center, and you may be asking yourself, what really makes me happy? Or what would really make me happy? But there could be this energy around you of feeling of responsibility, like you have to hold it together. You can't just go do whatever you want. So there could be a feeling of pressure, of responsibility, of like you're the captain of the ship, or you have to hold something together. You may also be going through something where you have to learn how to process something differently. Now, this could be work or business related, but it could be something to do with the computer, or something to do with, new rules, laws, regulations put on by the powers that be that are around you in the country that you're in. So I don't know where the source is coming through, but there may be things that you are going to have to learn to process differently. The card you have with it, look at this, that's so funny. You got the Fool. That's starting out on a new path and a new journey with high hopes and high aspirations, but not having your head in the clouds or not wearing rose-colored glasses because you don't want to fall off the cliff. So you have to be realistic and watch where you're going, but it is a feeling of wanting freedom. I feel that some of you Aquarians really want to feel like you're free and want to feel free to express yourself. And this could be like going back to the Two of Pentacles. Do I want to do this? Do I have to do it? Do I need to do it? Do I want to do it? Like back and forth. You do want to feel more unburdened. You do want to feel more free. You are going to start to shake things up and change things up because you are going to want to get out of any stagnancy, any ruts that you're in, any like mundane repetition of patterns and routines. Like you're going to want to change things up. And you may start to get yourself out there and look to new horizons, new pathways you can travel. And this could be in travel. It could also be in your career or work, but it could also be new clubs, groups, organizations. You may be looking for a new romantic relationship, like venturing out there to see what possibilities exist and what things you could get involved in all the areas I just named. I feel like Aquarians are going through this, like the sky's the limit. Time is too short. What can I do? I don't want to keep doing the same things over and over and over again and expecting different results. This could be strong themes for Aquarians right now, and maybe even moving forward in the year of 2026. Freedom is holding a bigger appeal for you, whereas maybe in the past it wasn't, or maybe that was like you long ago, you used to feel like that. And it changed because of all the things you've done and have been working or doing, or different jobs or careers or different businesses or whatever. And now maybe you're like, what am I waiting for? So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. Now on to the sign of Pisces. What do your spirit guides and your higher self want you to know, Pisces, in this mid-month update? You first have Ace of Rods. This is new beginnings. Could be a new job, birth of a child, new love relationship. It could also be receiving an inheritance. So some type of new beginning comes up for you. I get a new doorway opens up. That's come up quite a bit in this mid-month for the signs, and you're getting it too, and a new job or new job opportunity could open up for you. And it could take you far and wide, and it may even lead you to travel. Now, that could be short distance travel or long distance travel. And you may feel like, wow, the world is my oyster. I'm going to get to see different sites and different, cultures or different locations. This could open up some an interesting world for you. Yeah, I get getting associated with new people, new things, new travel, new areas. I feel ultimately you're going to feel like it's great, but there could be some apprehension or trepidation for you right at the get-go. You may feel like, wait a minute, is that what I want to do? But if you give it a try, you don't have to stick with anything. Who's saying you have to? No one. You could try something out and go, no, not for me, but I feel like you're going to love it. You're not the only sign to get this, but I got to tell you, somebody could show up new for you that you almost like worship. I hate to say that word because I know it's going to trigger people, but like you could really put them on a pedestal. You could really look up to them or be like in awe of them. And for some of you, it could be a love partner. But for others of you, it could be a mentor, somebody that's giving you opportunities or teaching you things. It doesn't always have to be love. But for some of you, it could be a new love partner. And no matter what your age, maybe you're young listening to this, but I get it's going to make you feel like a kid again, or it's going to make you feel like bubbly, giddy, excited. So the card you have with it is the Hierophant. And this is God giving you a blessing or a warning. It could also indicate higher education or higher learning. You could be the teacher or the student. It could also indicate religion. This could be God or a high priest or a pope or a position, someone in a position of authority. This could be the person that opens the doorway for you. It could be the person that a new love partner. It could be the mentor. It could be somebody that gives you a new job. But I feel like the message here is you best get on with it. Like, do it is what I'm hearing. Like, don't dither around too much. Like, should I, shouldn't I? Am I going to do it? Am I going to try it? Better get on with it. It's because it's actually going to situate you in a new position of power or empowerment. For some of you, it could be giving you a position of power, like power and authority. For others of you, it's just giving you more personal empowerment. I'm hearing you've got to let go of old beliefs and old belief systems that don't really fit your life anymore. I'm hearing you're graduating, you're moving up in the world and graduating. And it's also saying you have to take on like either new responsibilities or more responsibilities or a combination. And you're going to have more time to yourself and to like goof around or do whatever you want to do at times, and you're going to get more money. And at times you could be your own worst enemy because you talk yourself out of things where you think you can't do something. Maybe you don't think you have the right credentials, or you didn't go to school, or, you know, like advanced degrees, or you didn't go to school long enough, or you didn't get enough training to do it. But it's like you're talking yourself out of things. Don't let yourself do that. If any of these things I've talked about here come up for you, even this whole year, but especially in January, February, March, don't be your own worst enemy and talk yourself out of it. So I hope those messages were of help to you, and I hope they made sense. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I do truly appreciate it. And please like, share, and subscribe. And hit the hype button if it shows up, because it does help this channel. I do truly appreciate it. And if you're interested in any of the special video series I record on very specific topics, bringing you more psychic predictions and messages from my spirit guides, you can get them on my Vimeo on-demand videos and also on my Patreon shop. I've created a list you can read here on this slide. They are also linked down below in this video in the description box, and these links are on my website, theluckymermaid.com, on the videos page, and you can get them on my Patreon shop. So I hope you all have an absolutely amazing rest of the month of January, and know that I wish you many blessings and peace.